we are about to do something huge. Something that, to be honest with you, scares the crap out of us.
We are preparing to drive across the world, a long-standing dream of ours to visit new lands and immerse ourselves in cultures that we've only previously read about. This is the biggest challenge that we have ever had to face, and we will not be the same people when we arrive at the other end.
You might think that this should be easy for us. After all, we've just spent the last 6 years driving a combi from South America to Arctic Alaska. But this is by no means the same road. And after giving away our combi as part of our last project, we now find ourselves homeless and busless. We start from scratch. We must now build ourselves a new home and overland rig. And that is where this story begins.
The search for our new wheels actually started on the west coast of the USA during our last few days with the combi. Before saying goodbye, the new owner, Grant, was kind enough to help us with the hunt.
This is Lucy. She's a 1970 adventure wagon.
As far as the eye can see, there are buses and bugs poking out of the forest. Popped up?
Popped up.
We're about 150 miles to San Francisco and we're on a hunt for our new bus. We've actually come across a high-top bus, which is in Reno, which is about a 3-hour drive from San Francisco. But luckily we know somebody with a plane.
Wind 030 at 05. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 31 Celsius.
This guy Brett is a true hero of combi life. On our last project, he played a huge part in helping us when our entire combi burnt down up in Alaska. Yes, that was a real nightmare. And if it hadn't been for the kindness and strength of this man, we would have never realised our dream of reaching the Arctic Ocean. Since then, we're fortunate to say that we've remained really good friends.
What do you think?
This is the bus. I don't know. It's definitely less rusty than other ones we've seen.
Leah, how do you feel about moving out of our nice Capito and into this thing?
There's a lot of work to do.
Jesus. I don't want to live in here. I just don't.
Not yet, it's a project.
It's a huge project. Okay, the plus side is there is hardly any rust at all anywhere. It's super dry, one of the driest buses I've ever seen, but it has spent half its life in the desert, or maybe even most of its life. Looking at this thing, it hasn't moved in a while. The downside is everything else would need to be done. Transmission, engine, brakes, suspension, tyres. Even the steering wheel's not bolted on. This bus needed a lot of work, more than we were going to be able to accomplish in the USA with our short 6-month visa. But some buses that we found were even worse. unreal. Seriously, I have never seen anywhere like it in my life. It's like a Volkswagen amusement park. These buses buried in the forest. Just waiting for an adventure. Genuinely, this is one of the weirdest places I've ever been. It's so interesting to walk around, like the sun coming in through these trees like this and shedding light on all these old relics. So many stories hidden amongst the trees here. This is a really special place.
As fun as this secret place was to explore, and as much as our fallen comrades needed rescuing, there were no viable candidates given our time frame. This for us was a field of nightmares. But just a stone's throw away was a real field of dreams.
This was not the first time that we'd been to this spot on Vancouver Island, and we were confident that we could find our next adventure vehicle here in Canada. So we returned to see our old friends.
Joseph and Zach are unique characters. Together they run the father and son repair and restoration business called Earth Spirit VW.
We kind of feel that the vans, because people have lived in them, driven everywhere, had family fights in them, made love in them. The vans seem to take on this karma or energy of the people's lives and memories. That gives each van a personality.
Over the years, they've gathered quite the collection of VWs of all shapes and sizes. So they were the perfect people to help find the right adventure mobile for our next project.
We're actually repoing a VW bus. Kind of feels a little naughty.
Oh, we got keys. We're good.
Find some keys?
Keys? Yeah, they were in the ashtray. We're good to go. Rock and roll. We paid for this van. Guy wouldn't give us the papers. We're picking it up. The Volkswagen adventure here for us, which happened by accident, and we love it because, you know, we tried not to make it into a job. So it's a hobby that's turned into a full-time fun and enjoyment.
Fawn City, Repo Crew, what's up now? You see it here first.
When we get the vans, sometimes they'll sit here for a few months, a year, and till the right person comes along. We often say that a van will actually pick its next driver, its next family.
This is a pretty exciting moment. See all these VW buses here? One of these might be the new Combi Life Combi. Let's go check them out.
So this is this white bus is it's a great bus. I bought it because the body was really, really good. Check out the interior, beautiful.
It's so crazy to think that this could be our home. Like, we don't know yet, but like, it's so exciting. Shopping for a new home. Hey, Combi!
It's a 78. Got the big fuel-injected engine with the hydraulic lifters, the swivel seat, the pop top, and it keeping in tradition, is the right color.
Ooh! Full bench, full-size bed, what do you reckon? No walkthrough? No deal.
Nice.
Let's have a look. So, one of the requirements for us in our search for the next vehicle is
Walkthrough?
a walkthrough, because we basically want to have more space, and having that walkthrough that we didn't have in Capito gives us that, kind of opens up the area and gives us a few more feet. And we're hoping that we'll be able to put in a swivel chair too, so that this chair, we can take that out or find one that doesn't have that, and we can have a swivel chair, so that will definitely open up the area.
And a pop top as well. We want more space. I want to be able to stand up when I cook, so I think a pop top is really nice.
But it's pretty functional. There's about, what, 6 foot 6 foot plus standing room. There's no floor in yet, so you lose a bit of that. It just makes such a difference being able to get into your vehicle and stand up, right?
Right.
Let's quickly look at this one. Split screen would be an absolute dream. Slightly smaller inside, slightly less strong underneath, I think. The suspension's not quite as strong. Alright, let's take a brief moment to consider the split window bus. In our opinion, the ultimate vintage van. We've been fortunate to spend a lot of time in and around these beautiful vehicles whilst we've been in the US, and we've made quite a few friends who drive splitties. So we caught up with 10 Foot Dog to see how feasible it'd be to get one for ourselves. Type 1 split bus. Yeah. Is there a more iconic bus out there?
No, it's the one that started it all.
This is it. This is the hippie bus, really.
Yeah.
So tell me about it as an option for an overlanding vehicle.
Well, you know, it's the first generation, so there are improvements. You know, Volkswagen made improvements, you know, through the years, and this one is the first generation. And there's some things that maybe you want to strengthen up or improve on, which you can do on these. You know, they have been driven all over the world.
So it's possible.
Oh, it's possible. Oh, yeah, people have done it.
So let's have a look at some of these deluxe combis.
Oh, yeah, let's look at them. 23 window.
23 window.
Samba.
See, nice to have the air conditioning on the front windows that open like that. The Safari windows.
Oh.
You've got to have them, right?
Yeah, you have to, especially in Southern California.
There's no air conditioning in this vehicle.
Oh, it is right here.
Yeah.
It's fresh air.
Fresh air conditioning.
This is organic fresh air. Yeah, but something like this, deluxe, early bus, it's way out of financial reach. It's rare, desirable bus, which makes it worth a lot of money. So you're probably not going to take this around the world.
Let's look at something that's more in my price range.
Oh, yeah, we can find that right over here. Like this one back here. This is good. Look at this one. This is one of those forgotten vans. Look at all the rust. Super rusty. You know, it's set somewhere moist. This thing, look at no interior. That's perfect for you. Oh, lots of rust. So you could get this bus maybe $5 grand. Spend another 10 grand on sheet metal, suspension. If you want an engine, maybe say 5 to 8 grand on an engine, a couple grand on a transmission, grand for a beam, brakes. You're gonna want to put cabinets in it. You want to do solar, extra batteries. You want to do maybe some type of shower, some water system. I mean, you're gonna live in this thing? Well, I don't know. For how long? Like a weekend?
If we're honest, we're going to have to give up on this dream. These are way out of our price range. Oh, it's just so pretty though. One day in the future when I'm not driving across the planet, I'm getting this splitty.
We'd already seen so many potential rigs, and it seemed everyone had a different opinion as to what VW they'd do this trip in.
There is no exception. If I had to do this adventure, I would definitely be in a split bus. You're talking to Robert Skinner here.
I would choose a Vanagon. A Vanagon would be my choice.
I would have to choose an early bus, hands down.
Yeah, we would do it in a Vanagon. And as you know, we tried to talk you into doing it in a Vanagon.
The Vanagon?
I like some bits of the Vanagon, but it's just not a bus. I like how it's bigger and more spacious. It just feels bigger in here.
It is bigger in here. It's like a foot wider or something. It's definitely more spacious. We know lots of people who drive Vanagons. Our friends at Go Westy have been trying to convince us for years to upgrade to a Vanagon, and with good reason. They are stronger, more capable vehicles with a proven track record of overlanding across the world. We agree with Go Westy, this is the best VW for the job. Unlike the modern T5, which we also considered actually, way too modern for my liking, the Vanagon still has some character. But we're planning to import this vehicle into Australia, which has extremely strict regulations, and believe it or not, it's actually harder to import a more modern Vanagon. Unfortunately for us, the Vanagon is out of the question. Over the years, we felt an incredible sense of camaraderie in the Volkswagen community, and to us, it's kind of like being part of an extended family all over the world. Arriving into a town where we don't speak the language, a VW brings smiles to the faces of strangers of all ages, and this is something that we treasure.
Sure, building a Kombi into a capable overland expedition vehicle is no small task, but you might have noticed that we do love a challenge. And besides, despite giving away our last bus, we definitely want a Kombi to be part of our family.
The only problem was, it wasn't going to be any of these. Earth Spirit VW would have been a great place to build the new Kombi, and these were the best conditioned VWs that we'd seen so far. But the one that had captured our hearts wasn't here. It wasn't even in this country. It was in the desert, 1,500 miles to the south. But that is a story for next time.